Welcome back to the Wrestling Related Podcast, where the topics are related to wrestling. The three of us are related to each other. I am Josh.
I'm Dustin.
Corey.
And you might just be watching us on either YouTube or Spotify. Otherwise, you're probably listening to us on one of your smart devices. Most likely with Bluetooth headphones in because, well, we are kind of predictable creatures. Speaking of predictions... Hey, Bash at Berlin's coming up.
Yes, it is in just a few days.
I got to win back my title.
You have to win it back. Corey is the current champion, and apparently he's representing the American Nightmare, so I think we know how one of the predictions are going. Not that that's really that big of a prediction. I mean, it's...
Surprise.
I mean, if he actually loses, I think that would light the internet wrestling community on fire. Nobody would be expecting that.
Correct.
But yes, Corey won the prediction championship from AEW All in London 2024. Squeaked it out by one, and somehow we were talking about this. How is it that Corey, who has the least watch history with AEW, is somehow the best at predicting AEW? Like,
I don't know. I'm tempted to take him to the casino on AEW pay-per-view weekends.
Right? Pin the tail of the donkey here.
What's your number on roulette you're picking, Corey?
00.
Your age, 72? Okay, got it.
Yep. So yes,
that makes you 70, bud.
Yes. Halfway to 140.
All right, I made it. Time to relax.
Pull my ricochet out.
What the?
How do we want to do this?
Sorry.
Like, how do we want to get into these predictions? Do we want to recap? I don't even remember what happened on SmackDown last week. Like, I know something happened.
So there was a...
they beat the crap out of Roman, didn't they?
Oh, was that last week?
The week before. That was the week before. This week, A-Town Down Under had a vignette or little thing with Cody.
Oh yeah,
that was hilarious.
Was like, and they did the little video skit of KO like turning on people, and then he comes out and he's like, you know what? Let's
break
do this
the fourth
weird.
wall.
Hey,
we all know what's going to happen. I'm going to do this.
Can we
you're going to do
this?
that.
Make the match. Yay! We made the match. Now, do we still have enough time for me to go in there and beat some people up? Oh, we do. Great.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Who else is just loving Nick Aldis as the SmackDown GM?
Yeah.
Yep.
I love Nick Aldis. Man.
Nick Aldis doing a good job. Yes, that was hilarious. I loved that thing so much that I hollered, I think, at my entire family to tell them to come in to watch. And they were like, really? What am I watching? You're watching a promo. Good. Now watch this. I was like, why am I watching a promo? Don't we fast forward through those? Usually,
so Josh is spending a promo on his family so that they can watch a promo.
It's like, Cody, you got to admit it. Every one of them except for Kofi deserved it.
That was hilarious.
I agree.
And you know that Triple H was like, hey, while we're doing this little vignette package, let's make sure that we put Chris Jericho in there and point out that it is Chris Jericho. Make sure his face is prominent.
Yeah.
And that we say Chris Jericho. Just like you know that Triple H is doing that just because people are going to be like, oh,
Vince never would.
He actually referred to somebody from another company?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Even though, Corey,
yes,
when AEW started, shortly after they started, and Stone Cold was doing his Broken Skull, Vince allowed Jericho to come. And
Vince,
it was like,
Vince did allow it.
And Cody, too, I think, at that time, didn't he?
Yeah. No.
Or did Cody come after he left?
I think Cody was after.
Okay.
Yeah, like
very quick after.
Yeah.
Hey, here's my debut, and I'm on my way to the Broken Skull Ranch.
Yeah. Although to bounce around a little bit, not keep it necessarily with SmackDown, but in relation to what we were talking about with mentioning other wrestlers, other companies' names. we wound up finding out this week that Sid Vicious passed away. And the promo package that they did on Raw, great job.
Was good.
Not only was it a great way of encompassing his life, really, honored him. The fact that they said, known as Sid Vicious, Sid Justice, and Psycho Sid. And it's and then they said, and he started his career here in WCW as this, before he ever came over here and did this, and then went on to win championships. I thought it was really cool.
Quick thought on your thoughts on Sid, Josh.
Oh, I loved Sid. Like, Sid's powerbomb was so much fun to watch. I still, anytime somebody wants to talk about like wrestling is fake, wrestling is real, I still cringe at just the thought of a top rope big boot. Like that will never escape my mind.
Right.
No.
You ever heard him talk about it? He actually got interviewed. He actually got interviewed one time, and he said, "I didn't want to do it." And they kept telling him, just if you don't want to go to the top, go to the second. He goes, "I don't come off the ropes." And he didn't want to do it. But in that moment, they kept pushing it. And in that moment, he did. And he shouldn't have.
No.
Yeah, and his, Psycho Sid was a perfect name. Mm-hmm. Like, for a face, like, just on his face could convey so much emotion like very few could. It was the moneymaker for him. As big as he was, as dominant as he was, with not only a great powerbomb, a great choke slam. His choke slam always looked like he was stuffing them in the ring.
What are your thoughts on him, Dust?
Oh, I love Sid. I loved him. He just, I'm a big guy. I like big guy wrestlers. And anybody that can, Hulk Hogan was always billed at 6'7" and 320 pounds or whatever he was. And seeing when him and Hogan and Sid were face to face, and Sid just towered above Hogan, I'm just like, Sid was the man. Yep. Sid was the man.
The first vignette that I saw of Sid coming into WCW, they were talking about him being so tall and weighing so much, and he can squat this and press that, and then they mentioned and a 50-some inch chest, and I was like, oh my god. And then they let him speak, and him speaking and the intensity that he brought with every single promo, that scared the crap out of me. I mean, his
laugh.
It was the laugh that got me. It was when he looked in the camera and he just started unleashing that rage out just a little bit, just squeaking it out. It was like, oh, he's gonna eat someone's face. This is not gonna be pretty. It was like, business is about to pick up. But,
and he was one of the main ones in the 90s that turned around, and as soon as he walked out, a lot of wrestlers now do it, and the wrestlers that can do it now, they have that connection with the audience. The Rock does it, John Cena does it, Triple H did it, coming out, and before you even take another step, once you come out and you turn and you look at the crowd and you just wait. And you just let it all absorb into you, that energy from the audience. And I think that's what helped him when he performed.
Absolutely.
He's amazing.
Off of it. The saddest thing I saw, I guess, was when I saw that he posted something a month ago asking Triple H to make this next year his year to go into the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And he just didn't make it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I saw that, I was like, I haven't known anything about him in the last several years. He had to have been suffering from something. And then to find out that he'd been battling cancer for 6 years or something. It's like, ooh, yikes.
I saw an interview said he actually wanted to have, if at all possible, he wanted to have a match at some point. His last retirement match, he wanted him against Brock Lesnar. And I'm like, ooh, can you imagine those two in their prime going at it? That would have been
Nobody could hold it.
Good.
Nah. Crazy.
No.
Now, onto a lighter note.
Yeah.
What happened on Raw last night besides a vignette? We got to see got to see a luchador get launched into like the 15th row.
Whee!
Yep.
Goodness.
And then we got to see
4-way Pescado, Esposito, whatever exits. Yeah, that crisscrossy thing.
And then we got to see a big Bronson Reed bury a Braun Strowman in the roof of a car.
Whoa. You know what? I saw that, and it was impressive. It was super impressive. I mean, when they went to the backstage, and I was like, okay, now's time for the garbage. And bzzz, all right, now we got into the car, and boom. And I see the windows blow out, and I was like, oh, that was pretty cool. And then I saw a photo of Bronson in midair, and I was like, oh, dang.
Yeah.
He was up there.
Well, and I think it was today WWE released on all their socials a behind-the-scenes cell phone video when it was happening, and it looks even worse. How does a cell phone? Maybe it's something that we just see this all the time, so it's a little more real. But
anything.
It was like they're standing right next to the actual camera, and everything's going on, and it was just the way it hit. Yeah, that was disgusting. It was good. It's disgusting.
What'd you guys think of Uncle Howdy?
I think that Chad Gable took the best Sister Abigail I have ever seen. Bing. The dude just pop right on his noggin. Ate all of it.
I thought they did a great job. If they didn't do the white hair the way they did it, and his real hair is toughing out one side, and he's constantly fighting, trying to get it out of his face. It was like he was wrestling his wig and Gable at the same time.
I was a little upset that he wrestled with the mask and the wig on, because we just got to see the rest of the Wyatt Six a week or two ago, and they came out with the masks, and then they took them all off, and then they wrestled as themselves. I would have preferred that Uncle Howdy did that, come out, and then wrestle as Bo Dallas.
Or at least take the mask off, and then you've got face paint underneath to convey the persona change. I
mean, I kind of get what they were trying to do and trying to aim for, because there's a lot of the Bray Wyatt Fiend, type of thing, but you haven't built Uncle Howdy up to be the Fiend, and I don't think you ever can. And that's where I liked when the guys came out last week and they took the masks off. I was expecting, if they do this with everybody, this is awesome, because they're still their people that were inspired and drawn in by Bray Wyatt and by that character, and they come in this fashion, and it's a way of them kind of relating. And I thought it would have been cool. That was maybe my biggest criticism of it. Also, when he's wrestling, it was evident to, I think, somebody that was looking and paying attention, noticing some things were off. It was like, why are they off? Oh, he can't see very well out of that. He's not used to working under a mask, and that's not a typical hood that masked wrestlers would wear. So it's like trying to wrestle in a plastic Batman mask. Not going to work so well.
And I was watching, when the rest of the Six came out, you had Eric Rowan, and I'm drawing a blank on the names,
Dexter Lumis and
Lexter
Dumas.
I like that one better.
That's his name now.
And Joe Gacy.
Joe Gacy.
Yeah.
So in the past, and wrestlers in the past that are supposed to be these bigger than life guys and everything, and there's been a lot of them where the smaller female wrestlers have jumped on top of them and everything. And in the past, when that happens, you see the big guy. You see, and I'm going to get my camera angle here. You see the big guy right here. You see the girl or the young lady jump on their back, and they move.
Right.
And then, kind of try to stand back up. When she jumped on,
Rowan didn't move.
He didn't move.
Well, I mean, he did, but not like her force didn't. She hit, and then he just kept moving,
kick
punching,
the guy in the face,
fighting,
and keep going
all the way through while she's still hanging on the back.
He looked over his shoulder and
whatever.
Okay,
and she ain't
sleeper hold.
She's not like tiny. She's not like a Liv Morgan or somebody like that.
Alexa Bliss. Yeah.
Alexa Bliss. No. That chick's got some muscle on her.
Yep. Ivy Niles got something. So,
man. Eric Rowan. Love you.
Eric Rowan, awesome. Good.
He's the man.
There was also some shenanigans with the Judgment Day and the... What are they calling the other two? Like the Terror Twins?
Terror Twins, yeah.
They've been calling themselves the Terror Twins for a while now.
Hey, it's better than that one tag team name that none of us can even remember. The wish we had a better 1980s sounding tag team name, Fusion.
The plethora of the forehead girl Fusion?
Whatever it is. Terror Twins is better than that, but at the same time, it's like, how about you leave the names up to the writers?
I did find it amusing that Rhea was wearing a Priest t-shirt, and Priest was wearing a Rhea t-shirt.
Right.
Did you notice that?
Yep.
So they were wearing each other's merch, and it was like, oh, nicely done. Well done.
That was a fun one. I got a kick out of it. I enjoyed it. I loved seeing like Dominic up on the top apron, and then like he's on the top turnbuckle.
He's not moving,
and then he looks around. He's like,
If I don't move, they can't see me.
Yes,
Dominic
they can.
Mysterio is hilarious.
He's awesome.
Speaking of Dominic Mysterio, did you guys get a chance to see him talking to Logan Paul on the Impulsive podcast?
Yep.
Oh, man. Dominic winds up making some comment about how he loves to travel overseas. And he's like, my favorite place to go is Japan. Have you ever been to Japan? Logan Paul's like, yeah, I've been. Because that's where he wound up getting in trouble and basically getting canceled from. And he's like,
kicked out of the country.
He's like, how cool would it be like to wrestle there? It's really cool. Like the Japanese fans, they're just so amazing. Like you should go and wrestle there sometime. And Logan's like, all right, Dom, stop.
I wasn't invited.
Stop, Dom. Yeah, and then he's like, and then finally Dom cracks. Like he couldn't hold back his own laughter, and he's like, "Are you even allowed in the country? Are you still banned or something?" And he's like,
I'm not banned.
No, I'm not banned. I just choose not to go back. For me to go back, I would like it if they invited me, like they welcomed me in. That would be good. And he's like, you know what? Maybe we should like team up, and then we should like go there, and we should wrestle in Japan, and you should wear the green hat that he did from the video. And he's like, Dom, no. It's just like...
And you know what? That speaks volumes as to how much of a heel Logan Paul is.
Yeah.
And how much
more of a heel.
The heel mind of Dominic Mysterio can go. Yeah. He's like, oh, this is free.
It's hilarious. And I couldn't help but to sit there when I was watching it, catching the clips. I'm like, Dominic's playing chess while everybody else is like playing checkers. Yep. He's like 10 moves ahead of them. He's already planning a feud with Logan Paul and how to put Logan Paul over as a face. Or to leave himself a back door where Dominic becomes the face and uses Logan Paul to turn him. And it's like he's already setting it up. And it was just yeah. Dominic's great.
Meanwhile, Logan Paul is like, can I get in the Judgment Day? We can be tag team champs.
He's like, we'll do our own thing.
Did you see the really, 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 really brief? I mean, if you blinked, you missed it. Break of a character that Dominic had with Liv last night, though. When they gave him the microphone right before everybody started booing him out, he's standing there and he's looking at the crowd, and Liv reaches over and starts petting his shoulder and then kisses his shoulder. And he goes, he just kind of turns and looks.
I didn't.
And then all of a sudden he's like, he starts smiling afterwards. And I'm like, yeah, somebody's girlfriend, fiance, wife, whatever he's got is, she's not going to be happy on that one. That wasn't good.
Logan Paul asked him about it. He's like, what's with the wife at home? And he's like, oh, she's the best. What about when Rhea licked your face? And he's like, oh, that Leah licked my face. You know what my wife's first text was after that? We got a rat in the garage. She didn't
just
care about the show. She was just like, okay. Anyway, so we got a rat in the garage. You got to get this.
That's
and
funny.
he's like she knows there's a difference between work wife and wife,
right,
and it's separate. And then Logan was like, well, you're in a love square,
right? The only other thing that I caught from this last week that was interesting to me, I believe that if I'm correct, and this is wrestling history, so I may be incorrect, but I believe that Tonga Loa is the first person to be a tag team champion without ever having won a tag team belt. Because you got Tonga and Jacob Fatu that actually won it, and then he comes out and defends it, but he's defending a belt that he's never actually won.
You mean in WWE, right?
Well, yeah, in WWE.
I was going to say I can call out a couple people in IPW, but
we don't count that.
No, Throwcat doesn't count.
No, Dirty Sanchez. I gave him the title, but
no. But yeah, it's
Dominic's wearing it.
It was that was yeah.
Moving on, pay-per-view predictions.
Predictions.
Bash of Berlin.
What are the matches, buddy?
Bash of Berlin coming up this Saturday. I believe it's a noon on Saturday, right?
Yes, it's at noon Central.
Noon on Saturday. Per normal WWE PLEs, we get 5 matches versus AEW's 10 plus. Let's go ahead and we'll start rolling straight through them. Now that we've got Dustin, we can actually do a round robin and go all the way around.
Fair enough.
We'll kick off with me doing this one. We'll start off with what I think is probably going to be the opener. It is Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, the Unholy Union, against Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. I am going with Unholy Union.
Okay. So I am going to bring up last week. Last week I was not here. I was not able to do my predictions. I had some other unforeseen circumstances that I had to get taken care of. I ended up picking what I wanted more so than what I expected on some of the matches.
And you lost your reign.
And I lost. I lost my perfection, my perfect record of never missing a single match at SummerSlam. So...
Well, I came close last week, and all I picked was what I wanted, so I'm going to do it again. I want Unholy Union.
I'm going to go like Josh, Unholy Union. However, I think this is going to be Bianca Belair turning heel. I think she's going to turn on Jade, and yeah. I mean, I've heard some different comments. Maybe Jade needs to turn heel because if Jade turns heel, then, she doesn't have to do as much as far as carrying a match as a face. However, I don't see that. I see Bianca turning heel on this one. She's always been a face.
I think Jade turning a face makes a whole lot more sense. Or turning heel makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bianca,
but having her in a company doesn't make sense. So
Bianca as a face is going to sell so much more than Jade as a face. Bianca as a heel, or Jade as a heel, which some of the fans already treat her kind of like a heel, that makes her the uber heel of the women's division, and she's already big and strong and towering and dominant over them, and she already comes out, doing the strut with all of the glitz and the glamour and the stuff like that. I don't know. I didn't think there was going to be a swerve between either of these two turning on each other, but I like how you're thinking because it just reinforces what I want to happen.
Yeah. But yeah, unholy union for me.
I am going to agree. Unholy Union is going to win. I also believe that there's going to be a split between Belair and Cargill. From a booking standpoint, it would make more sense if Naomi, who has been doing the big afro instead of her normal neon thing last week or so, but that she would somehow try to help out and cause some drama in there. But I would expect that would lead more towards Cargill turning heel. But
I mean, if there was going to be interference,
that makes sense. But I think that Bianca is going to turn heel just because, from a match standpoint, the heels tend to call the matches, and that's way easier to handle the calling of a match, the pacing of the match, all that.
Do you actually think that in any of those matches that Jade is having, that there's any calling anything? It's already been planned out,
but someone
a week in advance, and they're rehearsing multiple times.
And someone needs to keep her focused and keep her in line, and Bianca's pretty much matching her strength for strength in here, so she can't just shove people around.
And so to answer your question, Josh, yes, I do think there's some calling during the matches that she's in. And you can see it every time that there's a
from
mess
the referee.
No, I think Jade's the one that's trying to call a match, try to call certain things, and that's when you see the botches, the issues that she has, the not knowing how to recover from certain things. So she tries to call something in her head or call something on the fly, and that's when it looks even worse.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so we're straight across the board. All of us saying unholy union on that one. Dustin, you're up. It's the strap match. It's CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
What?
Next pay-per-view
is this like number 3?
Bad Blood.
This is their second. Yeah. The last time Drew was in the UK, though, he didn't get a win because of CM Punk.
No. Right.
But it wasn't his match, yes. So the next pay-per-view is Bad Blood.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this theory and it stuck in my head, and I truly believe this is what's going to happen. CM Punk's going to win this match, so it's going to be 1 against 1. Get my fingers in the shot. 1 against 1. Mm-hmm. Drew McIntyre won 1. CM Punk's going to win 1. So the rubber match is going to be a Bad Blood, which I think will end up turning into a Hell in the Cell at Bad Blood. But yes, I'm going with CM Punk in the strap match.
Okay.
Same, and for the same reasons. It's
not the same reasons. You just want to keep your title.
It is. No. Do I get bonus points for calling the strap match 2 weeks early?
Nope. No bonus points.
No. Josh?
Yeah, I don't want CM Punk to ever win any match ever. So I want Drew McIntyre to win this one. I'm picking Drew McIntyre. And I think that gives even more Bad Blood. But honestly, if I could pick anything, I would say it's a no contest. That, I don't know, somehow they have whipped each other, and the doctors come out and they say, nope, can't happen, can't continue. And then they just call it or something like that. But I think Drew wins.
I'm just shocked and amazed that they're getting this much drama out of a friendship bracelet.
That a fan gave him.
Oh my goodness! It's.
I love it, and no, I could. Yeah, I think it's going to keep going. I do think there's something brewing, potentially at Bad Blood, or potentially, if it doesn't happen, go down at Bad Blood. It could be these two going to Crown Jewel just so they can get the big pay-per-view, and the Saudis are saying, hey, or not, yeah, that we're wanting CM Punk here because we want to see him. So possible, but yeah, I go with CM Punk or not CM Punk.
I thought you said
McIntyre. Drew McIntyre.
You're saying Drew. Say 4 times.
Drew.
5 times fast.
Next, you've got Dominic Mysterio, Dirty Dom, and Liv Morgan against the Terror Twins of Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley.
In a mixed tag, huh?
In a mixed tag.
I think that the Terror Twins are going to win this one. There's no harm whatsoever to Dom and Liv to lose. And if the Terror Twins can't beat these two, even with all the outside interference, then at some point in time they gotta be able to at least get their hands on them. And
so you're going with the Terror Twins?
Yep.
Okay.
So
I don't know that that's necessarily what I want, but I think that's what's happening.
Anybody want to guess what I want to happen?
Probably the same thing I want to happen.
I want Dom and Liv to win, and I do think that there was something to what you guys said about the Bad Blood thing from a match in this one. I think you just picked the wrong match. I think it's this one that leads to Bad Blood.
No, this will too.
But I think, well, you can't have too many matches go over to Bad Blood because you also got SmackDown that you got to tie in as well.
No,
right.
But the only Bad Blood match from this is going to be Liv against Dom. Or not Liv against Dom, but Rhea against Dom. It's gonna Rhea against Dom at Bad Blood.
Intergender?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking what's actually more likely to happen is you're going to get Finn Balor versus Damian Priest at Bad Blood, because Finn Balor's going to come out and he's going to wind up
I'd be good with that,
causing this and making sure that they lose once again. So that's my prediction. Liv and Dominic Mysterio win.
All right, so you both are split.
Drum roll. And has Josh picked the same thing as you the last two?
No, just the first one.
No,
Holy Union.
Just the first one. Oh.
But there's a chance over the last two matches we're all going to pick the same thing.
Yeah. We may have to do a tiebreaker move of the night.
No, I'm not counting all the headlock takeovers.
Well, I don't know. He picked Suicide Dive the last time and it didn't work.
Canadian Destroyers.
That's AEW. Okay, I'm going to side with Josh. I'm going with Dominic and Liv.
Can go either way.
It can go either way, but I think to carry it out more story-wise, I think it's better for the pay-per-view to have the heels go over. And then, from a disqualification or from something that happens. So, Dominic and Liv.
Okay.
I don't think it hurts the drama to either way. Drama can still continue after this. It's just this particular matchup would be an issue.
Yeah. Likely the easiest prediction of the night, Cody Rhodes.
Sammy. Oh, wait. Wrong match. Cody Rhodes. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think we'll do that.
Okay, and then here we go. A rematch from King of the Ring Gunther versus Randy Orton. Gunther.
Okay.
Gunther.
In Berlin.
Not Gunther. Gunther.
Against Randy Orton.
So here's what I'm going with. Last time these two fought, I went with Randy Orton. And Randy Orton should have won it. But I understand that he didn't. There was a mess up. There was whatever it was.
Flag on the
ref
play.
cam.
Flag on the play.
Yeah.
Official review. Last time these guys was the pay-per-view.
Are they going to fix the ref cam?
What do you
Flag
mean
on the play. King and Queen of the Ring predictions. Dustin and Corey both predicted Gunther. I predicted Randy Orton and lost.
Did I really? Okay.
You did.
My bad. My bad. So here's my dilemma.
Not sure it really matters.
It doesn't. My dilemma is it's in Berlin. It's in Germany. Gunther's from Germany. Hometown hero. Statistically does not win. Not saying he doesn't. Not saying that it doesn't happen, but statistically speaking.
But if we ask Drew McIntyre.
Yep. More than once. Now he did just win the title. So does he lose the title this quickly? That's the dilemma. Randy Orton, I think, he just signed a new deal with the WWE for at least another 5 years. Do I think he's going to get another title shot and be another champion? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Do I think it's going to happen right now? That's where my dilemma is. That's where my my issue. Can I take a pass, or do I have to pick first?
What, you just want to hear what we have to say first?
Can I unplug my microphone so you don't know that it's me?
Oh, I can't hear you. What?
Hey, you know what? I'll tell you. If you want to wait until we have gone around, I would let you do that, just because Corey basically did one of those last week where he's like, I don't want to pick now. You got to pick.
He did.
Yeah.
Mulligan.
Okay. That's a new rule. Okay. So, my turn. I'm going to say... One, there's no way they're going to keep the title on Gunther as long as they did the IC belt. You're facing a completely different caliber
not even close.
Of athlete. It's not going to happen. However, I cannot fathom that they would pull it off that fast. So this is really just going to be a rematch for honor, essentially. I think Gunther is going to take it. He's going to win. I think Randy's going to go back to SmackDown, and then there's going to be a little tension between him and Cody, because Cody offered KO a title match. You never offered Randy a title match, and so I had to go elsewhere to look for a title match leading up to the Randy Orton turning on Cody, and there's our bigger drama going into the fall.
Yep. And we can play that back, and I think it was even in, was it Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, sometime around there, that Randy winds up, eyeballing Cody and a belt, and yeah, I think it was WrestleMania, but yeah. So you're going with Gunther?
Yep.
I'm going with Gunther for exactly all of those reasons, plus one more. Gunther's title reign has an asterisk on it, because he only got the King of the Ring because he pinned Randy Orton even though his shoulder wasn't down. So it could be argued by smarks everywhere that he does not deserve it because he didn't actually cleanly beat Randy Orton, which he will do on Saturday.
Who cares what they think? Look at Ric Flair's 16 titles.
Long-term storytelling. They've already started to tease back to that and say, hey, the shoulder was up, so we've got to settle this.
So here's my question. Sure. You think it's going to be a clean win?
Yes, I think Gunther is getting
nothing.
Clean pin.
Doesn't matter.
A clean pin. Okay.
Doesn't matter.
So it's going to be the 1, 2, 3, but not necessarily without outside interference.
It's going to be a W.
Yeah, I don't really think there's going to be outside interference. At least nothing that, if there's any outside interference, there's going to be like an equal outside interference coming for Randy too. So it would even out. Like, I don't think it's going to be lopsided interference and the interference cost Randy the belt. I think it's going to be Gunther legitimately hitting him with the finisher and pinning him.
So what's Gunther's buddy's name? The
Ludwig Kaiser.
Yeah, that dude, Kaiser Soze. When he comes out, then Sheamus will run him off or whatever, and then boom, Gunther finishes it off.
Yep, something like that.
Yeah, something similar.
Okay, well, I said last week I ended up picking what I wanted and not necessarily what I thought was going to happen. This week I'm going to do nothing more than hedge my bet to turn around and try to win back my title. I'm going to go with Gunther.
He's playing the odds.
Fair enough.
But there is some differences in our picks. You know, Corey and I have a separation, and Josh and I have a separation.
Right.
So
that is correct.
So we've got two different matches where there's some variances.
It's going to come down to this match here with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre and the Judgment Day and Terror Twins. Those two will tell the story of it all.
Is there going to be any returns, any surprise appearances, anything like that anybody wants to throw in?
Nikita Koloff. I have no idea.
No.
No.
I can't imagine any surprise,
I can't think of any that,
unless they add something to the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing that I can think of. And part of it is because this isn't one of their big pay-per-views. This is
right.
Hey, you're one of those international countries that just gave us millions and millions of dollars, so we wanted to bring a pay-per-view over to you, so we're just going to throw something together real quick, and we're going to put your name in it while we're at it, just so you thank us and give us more money next time around.
And we're going to sell a bunch of merchandise with your name on it, too. So,
right.
Did you know they actually have their own store? The Bash
in Berlin
WWE store. Yeah. You can order it here.
They opened it early.
Yep.
Just to milk a little more money.
Hey, whatever works, whatever helps make this wrestling business that we love keep ticking.
Give me my money.
All right. Anything else before we sign out?
I think we're good.
No.
All right. Well, that's all we got. Tune in next time to see whether or not Corey retains his newly won wrestling-related prediction championship. Until next time, we'll see you later.